Hi friends, so this is Tatiana and today our session is on linear regression. So basically before start our session I want to tell you that in this session we will focus on the programming part. I am not going inside the theoretical descriptions and all, just I will give you one brief idea what you need and what's the basic thing, what's the application like that. So in this case, we are going to have different models. Means we scikit-learn is there, and which is a machine learning library for Python. Inside this, there are different learning algorithms are there, like regression model, support vector machine, then random forest, and I think K-neighbor. So all those things and many others also other models are there. Inbuilt models are there inside scikit-learn. So we are going to use that one. We will import that linear models for our linear regression, and also it supports the Python numerical, that means NumPy, and the scientific libraries like SciPy. So all those things we need in our this application. Second point is we are going to perform linear regression. So what is linear regression? Linear regression is basically it's a relationship between dependent variable and independent variable. That means basically you are having two types of linear regression. Okay, whenever you are going to establish one relationship between one independent variable and one dependent variable, that is known as simple linear regression. But if you are going to establish you are having one dependent variable and you are having more than one independent variable and you are going to establish a relationship between that, that is known as multiple regression. Here we will discuss the simple linear regression. Like I will give you one example. That means in this case you are having say two variables like income and spending, and you want to establish one relationship between them. Obviously if you think, we know that if our income, if it increases, spending also increase. Okay, it's naturally it has been seen. So you can establish a linear relationship between income and spending. But is there any relationship possible in between student height and exam score? No, it's not at all possible. So if you use a linear regression in this case, you cannot find any relationship between student height and exam score. So that means basically we are going to use it in forecasting. Using some observed values, means existing values, we are going to predict or we are going to forecast some unobserved relationship or unobserved values. This is the main objective or application of linear regression. So now I am going to the programming part. Already I have written the program because it's a little bit long and so it will take a lot of time. So first what you have to import is that you have to import NumPy as NP. Second is from sklearn you have to import linear model. Third one is that from matplotlib you have to import pyplot and as plt. Otherwise you can write it like this also, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So both the forms are okay, it's your wish. So I am going to run this one first, shift enter. Okay, so the next step will be our data preparation. So in that case, first you have to know that how many samples are there, number of samples. Here the number of samples I have given 20. This is user defined, so whatever you want you can give. I have taken 200 samples I have, like that. Now I want to create those samples and I have taken that line space. That means I am going to give the threshold upper limit and lower limit. I have given NP pi values, that is minus and plus. Pi is the threshold, and I have given how many numbers it will create 200 because I have given number of samples here. So if you run this one and if you check the X, so you can see that okay, this is our, see, minus 3.14 and this is the 3.14. So like that it will create 200 values. Okay, so the means limit will be minus 3.14 and plus, because I have given this here. Okay, so the next step will be creating y. So the equation has been given that how you are going to create y, that is 0.5 multiply with x, then sin x is there, so you have to take np dot sin x plus I have generated random values, which is random dot random I am going to use, and I have taken x dot shape, that means it will also create 200 random values like that. If you want to check now, you can run this first, and here you can copy it, copy, and here you can paste and you can run. See, it will show you, because in the question it has been given that you have to add a noise, Gaussian noise, and the Gaussian noise range is 0.1. So that's why I have taken random dot random to create that Gaussian noise, and which is 0.0, the range is 0 and 1. So all the values, if you see the random values, it's between 0 and 1. So now total 200 random values are created like that. Okay, so now this is ready, our y is ready. You can see this is our y. Okay, now we are going to plot the scatter plot, because this points are scatter points, so we are going to use scatter plot. And here I have given C, x level, y level and title. So just run, shift enter. So this is our data which we created. Okay, so this is our scatter plot. The next point will come, that data splitting. Okay, so for that data splitting we need permutation. For means we are going to give indices. Okay, because see here we don't want to take all these values, this, see, all these values we don't want to take sequentially. Okay, here we want to take the values, don't want to take the values sequentially. That's why here we have used this one, permutation we have used. Okay, so for that you have to write np.random.permutation. Inside that, how many samples are there? Number of samples 200. That number of samples you have to give here. Okay, so it will, if you check, see, it will give you, it is not at all in sequence, it's totally random. So that's what we want. We want to, when we want to divide our data set, we don't want to take the values sequentially. Okay, so now this purpose is over. After that, we are going to create the training data first. So for training data, I want to tell you something here. In real-time scenarios, it has been found that most of the time, whenever you are having a data set, 70% of that data set should be taken for training. Otherwise you won't be reach that much accuracy which is needed for real-time scenarios. Okay, so it's very important that 70% of data set you should take for training. Here I have 200, 70% means 140. Okay, but I have taken 70 because I just want to show you how the validation is going to change, that's why. So here I have taken the random indices from the starting up to 70. And for y also in the same way, I have divided my set, the training set first, then just to check it, you can run and you can check like that. So your x train and y train, now it's ready. Okay, now we are going to divide the validation and the test. Okay, so just to check, this is your x validation set and this is your test set. Okay, so after that we have to use the linear regression, which is already, it's inbuilt function. Inside that already we have imported linear models. So just what we will use, we are going to use this one. Okay, so after creating this model, okay, after creating this model, a very important part is this one. Here what we are doing is that Whenever we are using that sklearner, it is taking the input as matrices, okay, matrices. But we don't want that. We want it should be in a column wise. So for that we have to change its shape, okay. So that's why we have to use reshape. My previous session I have done in, I think, yeah, NumPy using arrays. In that session I told you how to use reshape. In the same way, here also, when I want to change the shape of my data, I am going to use reshape, okay. So here I have used that, and I have given the length of xstring, the rows numbers, and I have given one for the column, this one. Okay, so now our xstring for line fitting is ready and ytrain for line fitting is ready. And after that, here you can see the model fit I have used. You have to hit model dot fit, okay, to fit the line to the training data. It's very important to fit the line to the training data. Whatever name you have given here, you have to use that with model dot fit. Inside that you have to give both the training set, xtrain and ytrain. Here I have changed the shape and I have given a new name, that is xtrain for line fitting, which I have given, and ytrain for line fitting. Now after that I have plotted my data using in the same manner. Here I have used the model prediction, which is going to predict the value, predicted value. Here this is the predicted value. Using the predicted value, we are going to calculate the mean validation error, okay. So that's why here the model prediction is there, and it will plot you the fitted curve. I will run it and you can see it, okay. So from here I have to run, okay. So this is our line of, okay, so this is the fitted line, best fit line, and you can see that here we have given x level, y level and title, all those things like in the last graph. Here this is the model prediction is there, and I have given color green. So this is my linear regression predicted line fit, okay. Now if you see to the validation part and test part, if you see directly we have calculated the mean error, okay, mean error we have calculated for validation and test. So in the same way, for y validation and y test, what you have to minus with that, the model predicted value, what the model is going to predict, okay, and what is there already. Both the things has to be, you have to minus the predicted value from the previous real value, and you will get the error. What is the error you are getting? So here this is the model dot predict we have used, and here we have given x val reshape and x test reshape dot reshape, okay. So same way we have given this is the equation, and you can just calculate both the values, mean validation error and mean test error, okay. So these are the two things, okay, here. So if you change here, if you, this is your task, I will tell you. So whenever you are doing training, you change your training value, means just you take first, don't take 70% first, 50%, then 60%, then 70% you take, and you see how the validation accuracy, means the mean error, okay. This is the mean validation error, how it is going to change with the training data set, okay. This is very interesting, you can see that while doing. So this is the basic code for simple linear regression, and we will be back with the more examples of different types of regression and also different types of classifications like decision trees and all. I hope this will be useful for you, and if there any doubt you can post in the comment section. I will try to help you, and okay, stay tuned.